Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Sure. So thanks, Gary. So I just want to start off by just kind of seeing where everybody is. How many people have started with Funnel Pilot, with Jay's team, setting up your Facebook for ads for the new construction or one of the other campaigns? Has anybody started that? I know Dorothy has, but other than Dorothy,
I haven't yet.
you have, Kendra?
Not yet. Yet,
Not
Scott.
yet?
No.
Okay. So, all right. So I think most of us maybe haven't, which is great. So I wanted to kind of take you guys through that process and how the setup works. Um, so Kendra, you haven't set it up yet, you said. From your point of view, is there anything that you feel is holding you back from doing it, or maybe some challenges that you might be facing with it?
No, no challenges or anything like that. First of all, I'm dual career. And then I just had a lot going on, had some couple of closings. And then I was really getting bogged down with the technical part of the eXcelerate. So I have that
Mm,
all set up. And so I'm now like focused and ready to go with Funnel Pilot.
okay. Well, congratulations on your closings. That's exciting. Was there anybody else that was thinking of doing Funnel Pilot but hasn't taken the first step yet? Tom? So, on your side, what might be some of the challenges you see that you might have with Funnel Pilot?
It was similar to Kendra, where I had Harley set up my eXcelerate, and so that was finished. And so Funnel Pilot is the next step.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I just started the process not long ago. So, all right. So it sounds like maybe time and technical issues might be some of the things that might be holding us back. And I will say, from my point of view, I was the same way. Um, I I'll just admit I really don't care for Facebook. So the thought of doing something in Facebook, I was like, nah, I don't know about that. So I just wanted to take you guys through the process of setting it up and what to expect if you guys choose to do this, what kind of time you would have to put into it and what kind of technical expertise you might need to make it work for you. So, just to give you guys a brief kind of timeline on how I got it set up, Miranda on Jay's team actually helps you set up the Facebook portion of this. And I had an initial call with Miranda on February 28th. So, a few weeks ago, we got that call. And then what she did, guys, I'm going to share my screen here. She basically, took control of my screen, which was awesome. And she clicked around a lot and did all kinds of things. And I just sat back and watched. And I'm not lying because I was so happy that she did that because I was not looking forward to that at all. So basically, this is the Facebook page. Let me know. Here, let me move around these windows. Let me know if you guys can see this. It should say Just Martin Real Estate. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So as you can see, I've been suspended from Facebook right now. So that's something that we're working on. And that does happen, from what they say, that does happen from time to time. And what came up on mine after we did the initial setup, I can't even tell you what she did. She clicked around so fast. The call was scheduled for about 20 minutes, and I think we were off the phone in about 5 minutes. So she set up whatever needed to be set up. And then about a day later, I came in here and I noticed that I had this, you've been suspended. So I checked into that, and basically it's saying that I'm trying to impersonate someone, I guess maybe myself. So we're working on that. That's something that Miranda's team is helping me with. So if you get that during the setup, don't be alarmed, because it it does happen. So that call, like I said, it took place on February 28th. And Mo, I think I see your hand up.
I just promoted her, so it may take her a second to get in.
Okay, no worries. So that initial call came on February 28th with Miranda. And then we were going to set up the call with Braden just a few days after that to do the next part of the setup. So that got delayed a bit because of this suspension, and we thought we had it resolved, but we didn't have it quite resolved yet. We're still working on it. But the good news is you can continue the setup behind the scenes while you're working on this. So basically what Miranda did was set up a new business account for me through the Meta Business Suite. And she set up other functionality to connect Facebook to KV Core, or they will hook it up to your Lofty account, whichever CRM tool you guys are using. So what this does is when you start getting traffic and people interested in your campaign, their information feeds automatically into your CRM. And then from there, if you have that downloaded as a mobile app on your phone, you will get alerts from Lofty or KV Core when people view properties, similar to how you do today for any of the individuals you have in your KV Core. So you really want to make sure that you have that app on your phone so that you can reach out to them quickly if they are looking at properties. So after the initial call with Miranda, she sent me an email that I'll show you guys.
By the way, what
And
happened, Jeff? That actually is quite common when you set up a new business page and you start. It happened to us multiple times. So, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm told. And,
Mhm.
I think it's something that will be cleared up pretty quickly, because obviously I'm using my own name. So I think it'll get cleared up hopefully pretty quick. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. So the same day we did, I did the call with Miranda. Shortly after the call, she sent me this email. And she was requesting that I send her my KV Core login credentials. And what this does is allows the team to go into KV Core and set up the campaigns. So they would do this with Lofty as well, whichever CRM you're using. So they give you some homework to do. Now, keep in mind, guys, the call with Miranda was literally 5 minutes. And then I got this email. So this was the next piece that we were working on. So it says log into your Funnel Pilot training portal and go through Funnel Pilot powered by KV Core. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab. And it says click on the module gathering your market data. So what we're going to do here, can you guys see the, oh, I have to sign in. Sorry about that.
Yep, that's okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Let me move this window. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I know why. Because I'm not in, let me go over here, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Where all my passwords are hidden. All right, there we go. All right, so you log into this system and you go down to, should be Funnel Pilot, and go down to gathering market data right here. And this is a short video that you watch. And basically what this is doing is it's helping you gather information on cities that you would like to work in. So make sure that any information you gather is for areas that you would actually like to work in, because if one of the areas you put is ideal, you want to make sure, you know, it's not too far away based on traffic or things like that. So watch this short video. It's not very long. And what they basically help you to do is you go into the MLS and gather data about different areas. They say at least 2 cities. I put in 4 just to give more information. And then you pull up data on the number of homes sold in the last 30 days, number of homes active and coming soon, and then number of new construction. So all you have to do is fill in this section here for how many ever cities that you choose, and make sure you choose cities, not counties or zip codes. They want to stick with city names here. And then there's some formulas in here that put together some numbers. You don't have to worry about that. As long as you fill this section in gray, you're good. And then what you do is you just download this as a PDF and you submit it in the system. Once you watch that video, a form will come up and you submit that information in that form. So I'll show you, once you get it in the PDF format, this is what it looks like. And this is what Braden will use during your call to determine which city would be the best to use. So ultimately with mine, we went with McDonough because it just had, you know, as you can see here, the most kind of going on as far as new construction. So once you have this information, you're going to have your call with Braden. I had that on March 7th. So just to give you guys a timeline, I had the first call on February 28th with Miranda, then in the next call with Braden. And again, this was, I think, a 15 or 20-minute call that we had scheduled. We weren't on the call more than about 12 minutes. He looked at the information. He asked me a few questions. And we were kind of between, on this list, we were between McDonough and Stockbridge. So he asked me a few questions. We decided to go with McDonough. And then what he did is he actually pulled up some information on his end, input it into a form, and sent it to their team of virtual assistants who do a lot of this setup behind the scenes. And what they did behind the scenes is work in KB Core. They set up some campaigns in there that will go live once everything is put together. So that's basically where I am. I am waiting to receive an email. Well, actually, I'm waiting for my Facebook to be not suspended. And then also, once we go live, I will get an email from Jay's team saying that you are now live, your advertisements are live, and you should expect to start having people reach out to you through KB Core or Lofty. So that is really, I mean, it's very quick, guys. And I will say the setup on my end was very minimal. Like I said, I did literally nothing in Facebook. I've done nothing in KB Core. The only thing I've done is gone into the MLS and put this information together here, which took maybe 10 minutes. And I just, some notes I had even before Kendra and Tom, you know, made a comment about the time and the technical side of it. You know, like I said, I'm not really a Facebook person. You know, I do Instagram and YouTube and some other stuff, but I just don't do Facebook much. But it's really minimal. Literally logging in and then giving control to Miranda to set it up. And I would say from what I've done so far, it's been less than 2 hours of time. And like I said, they're doing all the work behind the scenes to set it up. And then they'll send me an email once it's live. So, you know, the time commitment is minimal, and Miranda and Braden have been great, very responsive. So that's kind of where I am. And I guess from there, maybe Gary, if there's any questions, or if Dorothy's going to kind of pick up from there and tell us how she's doing with it.
Yeah. Hey, guys, any questions so far, guys? It actually just show of hands. Who here feels like you still it still looks like that we used to call it the mysterious black box. You really don't feel like you understand what's going on inside that box. You know? Yeah. It's Facebook is a little bit technical. We didn't even go into Jessica's, you know, the internal part of Facebook where you actually set things up. We can do that. We can do that with Dorothy because Dorothy is actually a step further. She's actually up and running with her Facebook ads, and there have been some changes. So maybe if we go through that and then show you some of the results, and Dorothy can tell you the sequence of events, how the first part it gave her a lot of results. They just weren't the good results that she wanted. There was the second round where they modified the ads, got her fewer results, but they were better results. Um, so Dorothy, if you want to, I believe I promoted you to co-host. Um, you should be able to share your screen, and if you want to, log into Facebook. So this is from Kurt. How do Facebook ads feed into KV Core? Is there a call to action? Um, there's the technical tool is called an API. Its instructions are provided by KV Core to Facebook. Those instructions do come from we can look at KV Core too. Maybe we can go into either Jess's or Dorothy's KV Core account to show where that the source where it's coming from. But the API, all you need to know is it's just software that's mapping the instruction from one system into the next system. The software behind the scenes is, who knows what it's written in, um, but Kurt, thanks for the question, and hopefully the next section will help fill in some blanks there. So yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yep,
And
yep.
Jessica, you did a wonderful job. I have not even close to what you have prepared. Um, but yes, there's nothing that you really have to do. It's super easy. They do everything for you. And as far as setting anything up in Facebook or KV Core, I didn't do anything. So they pretty much do everything. They take control of your KV Core. That's why, like Jessica said, they have your password. And I believe the API is in the marketplace in KV Core. So Braden goes in and he does that for you on that call. But let me see, I could show you. One of the things that I did want to say that Jessica, said that she was getting some, or that she got locked out. So I got two of them. I got locked out for, it was like not even an hour. And I think it had to do with my credit card. My credit card was questioning what was going on. And then after that, I was getting messages once I was live. I got a bunch of messages, actually about 3 of them, and I messaged Braden. They were saying that we had illegal pictures and that we had to be taken down. And good thing I didn't do anything because he told me, he says, don't do anything. Those are hackers. So he says, don't do anything. But I got quite a few. And still, every once in a while, I'll get one coming in. And I've been up live about a month now. My appointment with Braden's tomorrow for my 1-month review. And what Gary was saying, the first 3 days he'll do a review and take a look to see how everything's going. And because I used to work with new homes in River Islands where I was wanting to do business, I worked there for 4 years, so I knew all my buyers were coming from the Bay Area, which is 45 minutes away to an hour. So we did pull in from there, and that's why I said I got so many, but they're not ready to make a move yet. They were just clicking, and so on that 3-day review, they did pull in my where we're getting our buyers from to my area, which is the Valley. So, and then they're way fewer, maybe if not half, if not more. But they're more ready to go and wanting to look at things. I haven't showed anything yet, but let me share my screen. I'm not sure how to do this.
There you go. Is that one of yours?
Those are my grandkids, if you're seeing the kids.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Let me see. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is
There-
the Facebook page, and you go into the ads. And this is what Braden looks at. And this is basically where he does his work also.
Mhm.
So, and really, I don't do anything. I look at it once in a while. Let me see, I need to adjust this to the date, and I'll go back to when I started, which was February 6th. To today is the 17th. Okay, so now this is results. So I have 131 leads that it brought in. It's reached, 6,000 people. You could see the impressions is, crazy ridiculous. It's a lot. And let me see, how do I get this? No. Hmm.
And the cost per lead so far is only $3.07.
Yeah, so that's what he looks at, and I think that's what he kind of judges, how well we're doing. Says he likes to stay about 3, but when I first started, I mean, it was like a dollar something, $1.67. So, of course, that's because there were so many. I want to show you, but I don't know how to make this drop down.
What do you mean the menu show
Yeah,
the
it would,
fields like hidden fields?
I'm
Oh,
not
there
sure,
you go.
but
There's the
look at
stats.
this.
Mhm.
Just kind of how you could see this is where, like I said, now it's like half, but I do have a lot of leads.
Mhm. And what's down below that? There you go. Age and gender distribution. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at how many are 65 plus. That's a surprise. I would have thought it'd been, you know, 30s, 40s, and
Well, a
but
lot of people want to retire in my area.
okay.
Um, so as far as Facebook goes, I mean, that's really all that we look at.
Mhm. Now, what about the ad itself? Do you have that on your Facebook page, like the
Um,
timeline that we can see, or
yes, if I could get back there.
actually, if you click on that, oh, sorry, okay, where it said, yeah, here we go. Okay, now we can look in here.
That's my
That's a nice
page.
picture.
And
And back where you were, Dorothy, if you would have clicked on the blue ink where it said like the title of the ad, I think it was yeah, buyer dash new construction River Islands. I think if you click on that, there's a
oh
way to
wait, this is the
expand
wrong
that.
page.
Mm.
Um, last year you had somebody on that actually had this going. I think he paid for it. And I was trying to set it up and I had it all set up. Um, but I didn't go live.
Oh, that's a
So
different one. I
this is
see.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the one that Braden did. Do I just click on it?
And you might need to click on edit. I'm not sure, but there is a, here we go. This might be it.
Oh yeah, this
Okay.
is it right here.
Yeah.
So that's the ad. I can't make it
These
big.
new construction homes in Lathrop must sell ASAP. Check out the list of incentives that are available to make these homes super affordable by tapping and learn more button below.
Yeah, so there's your call to action. And
Hmm.
once they click on it, they give you their name, phone number, and email. So there are, handful of, bad numbers and made up emails, but you just got to sift through them. But I do have some good leads, have sent about 3 people to talk to a lender. And from my old, like I said, I was selling the new homes 4 years ago. He saw the ad and referred his brother to me for listing. So
Oh, wow.
that one's coming up too.
Yeah. Go ahead, scroll down. Let's see what's down below there. Instagram account. So this goes out on Instagram too, then?
Yeah, it goes to both.
Excellent.
And I
Okay.
don't even have an Instagram, so I don't
Yeah,
know what
you
else
might
to click
now.
on.
Oh,
If I click
hmm.
on this, no, nothing's clickable. Oh, there it
So
is.
Dorothy, this actually goes out. Does it go out on your personal Instagram, or I guess they set up a business account for Instagram as well?
No, I guess because Instagram is now, I guess
I
Instagram
did.
and Facebook are owned by the same, from what
Yeah.
I understand. It just automatically is connected. Because like I said, I don't have an Instagram and I had this business Facebook page previously.
Oh, cool.
But we could look at KV Core to see what it looks like when it comes in. So on the dashboard, these are the new leads. They come in as new leads. And then if I go to,
Yeah, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago when we were trying to do this. There was only a few of us that were doing it. I don't know that Facebook and KV Core were connected in this fashion back then. I think we could have run Facebook ads from KV Core, but I don't think the capturing the leads and all, I don't think that part was there. I don't recall it, you know. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, from what I understand, that's what Braden told me. But these are them. Once somebody I get a notification from KV Core because it goes automatically to KV Core as a new lead, and then I call. They recommend to call within 5 minutes, and then we have our script, that they give us to ask them for. And the main thing that we're looking for is the criteria, so we can update the search and give them what they're looking for. And then secondly is the timeline. I'm sorry, you guys. My son's locked out and he's calling me now. Can I step away just for a quick moment? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll look at some stuff here. So guys on KV Core, when Dorothy gets back, if we can figure this out, to see where in KV Core do you actually set this up? So it's got to be a campaign. Kay's asking how much the leads cost. So Kay, the general recommendation is to spend $10 a day running this. In some areas, you can probably get away with $5 a day, but I would leave that kind of thing up to Brayton. The bottom line is this, though: if you're going to spend about 300 a month, and right now Dorothy's got 3 people that are getting pre-approved, right? I mean, she's had how many conversations would you say you've had, Dorothy?
Um, Probably close to half, I think, that I've actually talked to. And, once I call them, that's when they go straight to a prospect. He says they don't stay a new lead, just when they come in, they're a new lead, then you would change them to a prospect right away. Once I talk to them and I have them, let me see, I wonder, do you know how to make it just show active? Let me see if I go over here.
Um, you mean as far as
There we go. So
the
these are the
status? Okay.
people these is how many that I've actually talked to
Wow.
that are active leads. And, some of them, a lot of them will say, within the year. As long as it's within the year, I'm going to keep talking to them.
Yeah. Now, is there a follow-up sequence that they give you too? Like the people like this that say they have a yes on they want to do it, but the time frame is greater than 6 months. In this case, a year in some cases. Is there follow-up that's built in automatically, or is it just strictly up to you to schedule follow-up calls with them?
Yeah, so the campaign lasts for 5 days.
Mhm.
it's 5 days or 7 days. I think it's 5 days. But if you talk to them before the campaign's over, then you turn off the campaign because it's basically just trying to get them to answer, you know, to respond to the messages.
Mhm.
Right away, it shoots off a text message, shoots off email, and then it's continuous until, you know, for 5 days. And
Okay.
so once you talk to somebody, then you turn off the campaign, then it's all you. And so you want to make sure that you, let's go into this one. Whoops, here. So once you go in,
Mhm.
talk to them, I take them, change them to a new lead, and then I also set them up on the market report. And they
Okay.
say just to do it, you don't have to know where they actually live. You're just going to set it up to where your campaign is. So I have them set up on 28 days,
Okay.
get a market report from me. So once I have connected with them, and if they do click on, they also have the search alert that
Mhm.
will keep sending them. That is not part, it's not part of the campaign. It's more like the market report. It's going to go to them until you turn it off. And they're going to continue to get new homes sent to them. And if they click on it, then it starts a campaign again, asking them questions, trying to get them to, you know, respond. And so it'll let me know, you know, it says like after 14 days, you know, somebody else has come back to your site. And then once I get that notification, then I call her and, you know, ask her, you know, what is it that you like about this home? Is this something that you're interested in? He does give a protocol as far as, you know, how long they think they want to be in their new home, to like 1 month. Then you're going to, you know, that one's, you know, you want to be on them all the time,
Mhm.
trying to get
Oh,
them
yeah.
to your appointment. 6 months, I think he said like 2 weeks, and then a year. But it's in the video that Jess was showing us. So all of that is in the video. I don't have it memorized.
Yeah. So the search alert, you did you have to select new construction as the type of search? Like there might
So
be,
yeah, I think maybe they did it because like I said, I didn't do anything. All I
okay.
do is answer the leads. So it's super easy. One thing I, you know, did question because I do offer to, you know, customize the search for them once I start talking to them. And
Mhm.
it doesn't give a whole bunch in this um, platform. It's not like the MLS.
Okay.
So, you know, Braden did say that I could reach out to API and have them, you have to take a snapshot and let them know exactly what it is, you know, that it's not pulling, and then they'll get it to connect. But I still find that if somebody's actually looking like ready to go, I just move them over to the MLS because this search is not, you know,
Mhm.
it's not a whole bunch. It's not connected to the MLS like I would like if somebody was actually ready to go.
That's
Gotcha.
interesting. I thought that KV Core, maybe it's your MLS system where you're at.
Um, Not the MLS system. It's they need to know what exactly, because it's what I asked. I says, oh, I thought it was connected to the MLS. I says, well, it is, but it only gives like 4. And, you know, when I look at the MLS, there's like 20. So, and a lot of the ones with the new homes, you know, they are the same because they're the same, you know, it's only when they list it that it goes
So
on the
you get the
MLS.
lead from Facebook, it goes into the CRM. Your CRM is connected to the MLS, but you can't do a MLS setup search alert for them. Like you can't go up top to alerts and create a specific search for them.
Um, it doesn't pull from it. Maybe I would have to make an appointment with the API to get it connected to where it's everything. You know, I'm not sure. Braden told me what to do and that's what I did, but it still is not what I would like, you know, for somebody searching for a
Okay.
home.
Okay.
Yeah, we
But
could.
yeah, you would just go in here to edit
Mhm.
and then set it up here. And then I had clicked, you know, just listed because they said that they weren't sure if they wanted new homes or, you know, resale. So I did just listed, newly built. I did price reduced. She wanted a single 1-story. And then when I contacted API, she says, oh, you have too many things checked. So I go, oh, okay. So then I just kind of, you know, I thought I'm just going to move them over to the MLS. But I mean, somebody else may have better luck than, you know, than what I did with that. Do you know more about this search, Gary?
Well, I think what Kendra was saying is I'm pretty sure one of the features of KV Core when you first, like, let's say you join EXP, you get your KV Core account, you supply them who your MLS is, and they make a connection there. It's I think it's to an IDX feed. And I do believe also that KV Core, let's say you're in, you know, you're near your East Bay, in between East Bay and Sacramento, and you have a friend or relative in, Indiana, that you can actually tell this here, like to do a market report for a zip code in Indiana, and it'll do that because it inside of KV Core, not your specific account, but it's already connected with all these MLSs. I could be wrong there, but I thought I read that somewhere. One of the features. I just haven't done it myself.
Well, I know it is
Um,
connected to my website and I could do full-on searches there.
yeah.
You know, not automated, of course, but it is connected.
Okay. It may be a
So
limitation of the API then. It
I
could be a
think
limit.
that's what Braden said, because he said something like, well, we don't want them to have full, I didn't quite understand. I don't know. So I just said, okay, and I just move them over when I need to.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You've got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live.
Yeah. Well, it could be the kind of thing you could give them only so much. They have to contact you. They get more information, which means you can have a conversation with them.
That's
Probably.
what I got out of it.
Yeah. But Kendra, have you used that search function in your KV Core? I'm sorry, in your MLS area?
Say that again?
Have you used in KV Core, have you used that create a search function yourself,
Yeah.
even out? Okay. And
Mhm.
is it pretty, um,
Yeah, well,
does
so
it,
it's connected to, so we have 2 MLSs and like you were saying, it's it's on the website, like my EXP website. So yeah, I mean I get when I set the criteria, it pulls everything that was listed on, the Georgia MLS. It's not, I don't find it to be limited.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
Did
Because you would
need
think
to
the,
talk to
the market
somebody to get,
report. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kendra, I was just wondering, did you need to talk to somebody to get the full feed?
Well, I haven't set up my funnels yet. So I haven't even started yet.
Oh, you were referring to your website?
No, I was referring, you're asked, do I need the feed for, can you repeat your question? Maybe I misunderstood you.
It just in her normal use, Dorothy, without outside of eXcelerate and Autopilot, just on her own, she's been able to use the search function from KV Core to set up searches for people.
Oh,
It
I
sounds
see.
like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never set up anybody for searches on KV Core. I use my MLS. So that could be,
Yeah, so but the KB Core should be connected to your MLS.
it is. Yep.
Oh, but you're limited. That's interesting that you're limited as to what you get.
It can be, like Gary said, just for the campaign, the way they have it set up.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what Braden, what I understood, that they just want them to, have limited amount to get them to talk to us.
Okay.
But that could be a question, once you have
Yeah.
your meeting with Braden.
Yeah, that would definitely be a question.
Yeah. Chris is saying it could be because Dorothy's search is set up for new construction only. So that just the fact right there could be causing, you would think you would get all new construction results though, all the results that are available for new construction should be there then, if that's the case. Where Kendra is probably not doing just new construction. Kendra might not be limiting the type of sale, possibly. But the good news is, boy, guys, this KV Core system is awesome. I mean, you know, and hey, Bonetta, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you want to, Bonetta might have some information too. So
I noticed that KV Core's search engine is not as robust as the MLS. I've used it several times over the years. When I have people come into KV Core, I usually try to set it up with the KV Core search, but it does not. It for some reason, and it never has. All the years I've been doing this, doesn't give me as much option, as many options, as many searches, listed properties, active properties as the MLS. So I wouldn't use that as a substitute. I would primarily use the MLS. That is the most reliable of the two.
Yeah, once somebody says that, they want resale, and lot of people are saying that they just don't want to, the new homes. They were curious. There's a lot of shoppers, but they're still want to buy something. So, that's when I do offer to set them up on a search
good.
through my MLS.
So the way it rolled out, Dorothy, the first batch of results you got, they really weren't feed into your area. They were from closer into San Francisco in the Bay Area, which is much further away, like an hour plus drive. And I know a lot of people in the Bay Area are definitely have been looking to move further out because it's just less expensive.
Yes.
But if they're like just looking, I mean, you're interested. Sometimes people just like looking at see what's being built, looking at new homes.
A lot of
But what that
browsers.
tells me is they're thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
So you're right to question them further and maybe set them up on a search for resales. And also I would always ask this if they say we're really not looking to buy anything right now. We're just looking around. Just like when you go to a clothing store, the famous question from a salesperson is, "Can I help you?" And what does everybody say? "I'm just looking."
Browsing.
But they're looking for a reason. So Um, let's think of a question we could ask them then that might, generate better results. Like something like, you know, have you looked in this area before? Or have you looked at new construction before or something like that? Or is this your first time looking at new construction? A question like that that's different than, doesn't allow them to say, I'm just looking. So because then you might find that uh they're gonna have another child or they have a job transfer coming up that's gonna maybe one of the couple got a new teaching position, doesn't start till September. Things like that. It's just you've got to. It's hard for us to do this, but to get them to talk more, to give you more information, and usually open-ended questions are the way to do that. Who, what, where, when, how, why. Also is a biggie, of course. Um, but I would definitely stay in contact with those people. So that first batch generated the biggest batch, right? That was the bigger bulk of them. But
Yes.
no today, or within 3 months in their batch. So the second batch, like, tell us the numbers. How many results from the first round, and how many from the second round?
Oh, let me see, we go back to the screen.
Okay.
I think it turns out to be about half, but I could go back and, hmm. Oh, it's Facebook. Um, I think it was about half, Gary. But what he
Okay.
does, I don't know how to navigate this, so I'm sorry. I don't want to keep trying
Mhm.
but he does say to, as far as keeping in touch, every 2 weeks, you send out a text blast, and, just asking if they were, still looking for a new home or if they're still browsing. And I find a lot of people, they just ignore it, but they're not, saying not to contact them. So they're still getting, um, they're still getting
Mhm.
my monthly market and the search
Yeah.
alerts. And so
Yeah.
when they click on that, like I said, then I get alerted and then I call them.
Yeah.
Um,
Does your MLS allow you to set up a search that continues forever until you tell it to stop, or is it time limited? Like you can set it up for 3 months or 6 months or a year? I- Did you know if your MLS has a time limit on your when you set
I
it
don't
up?
think there's a limit.
Good. Yeah, some MLSs do that. I would prefer, like, I have myself set up on searches that have been running for several years now, and there's no, I don't want to stop them, so, I would prefer that we all do the same thing for our clients, our prospects, excuse me. Let it run until they tell you otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. So unless you have anything else that you want to ask me, Gary, I'm not sure what else I could tell you. Um,
Mm. Well, what changed when you changed the ad in the second batch? Were they closer to where you're doing your business? Those respondents geographically closer, or?
yes, that's what it was. Yeah, because before we were pulling from, like I said, an hour away, and so he pulled it
Mm.
into just my area. And I think he did it probably, yeah, I'm not sure if it was miles. Maybe.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Um, so Kurt Sutherland, you were asking about how to get in contact with Braden. Um, if you go to the Honey Badger Facebook page, there's a closed version and an open public version. Go to the public version. Just say, hey, I was in one of Gary's classes and this came up, because I think if you're not on the team, that's really not the bigger challenge. The bigger challenge is what line you're in. Um, so if you're outside their line or outside of EXP, you may have to pay out of pocket for it. Um, what what Dorothy and Jess are showing you guys is part of what we call eXcelerate that I paid for everybody in my front line and second line gets the like this stuff here. So frontline people get agent attraction and production both. Second line gets production. These aren't my rules. I didn't have to. I just all I do is give my credit card, but they set the rules on who's eligible. Everybody else in the downline or further down, in the team in the downline, we're going to do stuff like this and just keep helping you through coaching to get your own self set up. But if you're outside that framework, um, I know that they're like NAEA. That's a public. I mean, they cater to people in all brokerages, so you can get it through that route. What I want to really emphasize here is this stuff really works. And I've seen a lot of Facebook campaigns over the years, but it is very rare to find one that generates these kind of numbers. Now, it's not magic. They're going to put you in front of people. I mean, Dorothy's had, I mean, it looked like about 30 conversations. That is awesome. I mean, that's just incredible, you know, um, on a Facebook campaign. I've never heard of a campaign that produced that kind of results. So it is definitely worthwhile to to do this. And I mean, heck, you could. I know Kurt, you've batted around back and forth coming onto the team or not, but um, that would make this kind of stuff easier. I mean, it was just you know much easier. Um, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. So we just got to uh, do a little more heavy lifting on our own. So,
They do
but
give you a choice of a new listing campaign other than the new home campaign, so you could choose.
yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the reasons I like new construction guys is it's served me personally well. And if you think about where, at least if you're in the US, where the country is economically, where we still have a very strong economy, we've been having the threat of recession for you know 3 years now, right? So mathematically, it's going to happen. We just can't tell you when. But the irony here, it's not a conundrum, it's an irony, is the fact that we do have a shortage of housing. So we need new construction. That's what we need. But because of rising prices, followed by rising interest rates, that takes a lot of people out of the market. They're just like, we can't afford it. We're just going to stay where we are. Well, eventually, consumer impatience kicks in. Consumers get tired of waiting. They're gonna pay the 6 or 7%. They're going to get a smaller house or a less expensive house in a less expensive area. They're going to get a house. Okay, that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. So we still have this crazy imbalance between supply and demand. Um, I mean, I'm gonna give a kudos to uh, um, Kathy Urick today because she put a listing out over the weekend that I thought was pretty cool looking. I mean, I was looking at it, you know, and then lo and behold, poof, the thing's under contract. So congratulations, Kathy,
Thank
for
you.
getting a listing and getting under contract in lightning speed. I mean, that was probably less than 2 days.
Well, no, actually, it was a little bit longer. It went live on Tuesday and we held it until we didn't look at any of the offers until Sunday after 5 to give the most people a chance to look.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
um,
So you got multiple offers?
yes.
Wow. How many did you get?
Finally, it ended up with just 2. Both of them were at least full price or more.
Wow. Well, it
So,
was a beautiful house.
yeah. And
So,
it could have been, it would have worked for not a Airbnb, but a little bit longer rental. So it would have been a
mhm.
great little investment place or getaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, it's under contract. Yay.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Yep,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah.
And the part you'll like is that this all came from an investor. So I will
Nice.
have another property probably in a couple of months because they keep vacillating between what they're going to do with it.
Yeah. Now that one you just got under contract, was that a remodel? Like a
Yes,
flip?
yes, but it
You
wasn't
know
an
what? It looked like it was
extensive
brand
remodel.
new. Yeah. But actually, if you look at the footprint and the surrounding area around the house, it looked like it was a newly built house, you know?
Yeah.
You did a nice job. Yeah. Well, that's great news. So back to what Dorothy was saying, the reason I like new construction is if you're focused on a specific area or a couple, maybe 3 areas, and you regularly feed these builders buyers. I'm not saying the big Hortons and Ryans and those guys they've got their own inside sales team. They're all licensed. They got a marketing team and everything. What I'm talking about is the local builders, local and sub-regional size builders. Those guys, they don't have the budgets for their own sales teams. They don't, and they might be a little bit good at marketing, but what they're good at is building homes. They need you and I to sell them. So if you bring a builder 2, 3 buyers like in a year's time frame, don't be surprised if they approach you to be their go-to person to sell their properties. And if they don't ask you, you should ask them, right? So that's why I like new construction. And new construction is fun. It's easy. It can have its headaches because you're dealing with a lot of moving parts. I mean, people got to pick cabinetry and pick carpeting, and seems like you're involved with all that stuff, but I will tell you, it'll pay you, it'll pay you long-term benefits. Hey, Mo, you have a question?
Did you miss my hand, Gary?
Oh, you got another? I'm sorry, Benetta. Please
Same
forgive me.
one, Gary.
Mo,
So
Benetta was first, Mo. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I
Go
got
ahead, Benetta.
I wanted to comment on Braden today, and this is the second time I've run ads with him. So when it comes to new construction, what he's doing differently this time than what he did a few years ago when he first started this was to have that survey, have us to fill out the survey so he can really know what is most prevalent in your area. Because I ran new construction years ago for naught. I got nothing. I mean, I got a few. So what he did was he said he was looking for where there's 100 houses or more, that's for resale. And, he's looking at based on the survey that we all take, based on what we get out of our MLS. So new construction is good, but only if it is close by or nearby, or you have an area. I don't mean, when I say close by, I don't mean close by to you. I mean, if there's an area in your market where there is new construction going on. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. So
Yeah.
today we're going to run ads on Just Listed because I'm in the DMV and that's what's most prevalent. We don't have a lot of land left in the DMV.
No.
You got to
Yeah.
go further south. The further south you go, they're building houses because there's land there. But I'm in the Northern Virginia, Maryland, and DC. There's not a whole lot of land left around here. But so we're going to run,
Okay.
like I said, Just Listed. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So it really depends on what is in their area of what they should be running. And Braden's going to be telling them that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a way to tell. Like, I think if you look at your MLS and you do a search on solds,
Right.
you can break it down by type of property, like resale versus new construction versus whatever the different types are. But also, Dorothy, I don't know if you remember this or just, I swear somebody mentioned that there was a directory of builders that Jay, I think, or Braden may have. I'm not. Does anybody recall that? A directory of who's building in your area? I know Ron Williams had something like that. The
Yeah,
guy
he
from
did.
Hoodle. Yep. All right. I'm going to call Ron Williams tomorrow because Bonetta, you just made me think of that. I think he may have something that could be very complimentary here for everybody. Um, let me write this down.
There is a website strictly for new homes, new construction. It's called New Home Source.
Okay.
Right.
Heard of that?
Right. I think that's the site he mentioned before when he was on.
Mm-hmm. And you
It's
can set
called New Home Source.
yeah, and you can set up an agent profile on that site.
Mhm.
Okay. And in there, is there a directory of the builders, do you know? Like if so like a menu item you can click on and
That's
search by
the
builder
goal.
name or
And
something?
I don't know if it has a menu item of the actual builders, but
Okay.
it
All right.
definitely needs all the new.
Gary,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the site right now. It says you can enter the location or the community name and then find a new home.
Okay.
Yeah, you could search by either the builders or the communities.
Nice. Okay. So we have that information. Well, guys, I tell you what, if when class is over tonight, I will go out to newhomesource.com and set yourself up, you know, and then if they have that ability to search by builder and community, I mean, your golden ticket right there. So something like that may help Braden also when he's looking at your survey. Remember what Benetta was saying? We didn't have that before. He's looking at your survey. Um, I'm sure one of the questions is where are you? But if you can provide this information also, that may help. You know. So hey Mo, you're still there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
There
I
you
was
go.
wondering, I'll check out that new home source. 'Cause like you said, with the smaller builders, if we were able to reach out to some of the medium-sized builders and kind of pitch a partnership with them, um, exclusively under like how Braden is setting up the ads. Like, hey, we'll run these ads for you if you would use this, or maybe working out agreements where after we bring so many, then we now go from bringing buyers to representing the builder. Something along that nature. I'm just thinking of like, is there a way to campaign to some of the smaller builders after building that relationship and proving ourselves and bringing on the buyer since they don't have the budget for it and we have access to this tool.
All right.
If I remember right, there was a builders association that they suggested you check out too in your area.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Gary,
Yep.
one of the other things that I noticed when we were doing these surveys is that he wanted surveys to be run on single family homes. However, in my area, we have more townhouses than anything else. So the survey was going to be a little skewed because he really wanted single family homes. And like I said, here where we are, they do townhouses because it takes up less land than single family homes. So I didn't have a chance to do in my survey. And he says strictly single family homes. They express that in the survey itself. There needs to be single family, but that again, that leaves out quite a bit. We have new construction here, but they're going to be townhouses.
Exactly. Yeah, you're in your area. That's exactly right, Benetta. You've got a lot more townhomes
Yeah.
in a lot of other areas. Yeah.
But that was not an option. So that also is going to skew my survey because that, you got to know your market, of course. And I know because I've been here. We don't want to talk about how long I've been here. I've been here a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that's true.
but I
Even
know
even all the way out to Manassas, you're going to have a lot more townhomes there. You know. Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that, and I wanted to question it, but it was strictly put on that. Don't even think about asking that question. They was single family. I was all like, oh, okay, but that's gonna that kind of skewed the options that I had in my survey.
Okay.
I will say also when I was talking to Braden that he said that single level homes do better than two-story homes. And I didn't say anything at that point because I thought, well, we're getting it set up, but maybe it's something that could be tweaked later because I will say in my area as well, a lot of the single family homes are actually two-story, and that's what people want. They want in this area, they want the two-story homes. And then also I'm with you, Benetta. There are a lot of townhomes going in around me as well. So I feel like maybe once we do that initial 3 days, that might be the opportunity to, look into the numbers on, maybe two-story homes or townhouses. And I would just tell them, in my area, we just have a lot of townhouses because there's not a lot of land. So tell them that, because every area is different and every buyer in each area is kind of looking for different things. So I would just tell him and see what he says. Maybe he can tweak the formula.
Well, I've already turned it in. They're already starting to add. So like you said, maybe round 2, because when I met with him today, he also said, low single family, one level. And I said, we don't have a lot of those here. We
don't either.
I mean,
Yeah.
where are you? I'm sorry. Where are you?
I'm on the south side of Atlanta, just like maybe 20 minutes south of Atlanta in the suburbs.
The more urban areas are going to have denser population. They're going to have, they're trying to get as many people into this tax base as they can. And so, unless you go into Texas or, the rural areas farther south, you're not going to get one level. You're not going to get single family, not in the urban areas. So
yeah,
I just want, as you all schedule maybe we could bring it up, that maybe going forward that the survey could be really based on what we know about our particular areas. Because I think the areas that I could have run an ad on might have been different had I been able to do my survey based on what I know is here. Just a suggestion.
Okay. Okay, good discussion, guys. Hey, just show of hands here. Does this help you a little bit, if particularly if you're looking to, fine tune your brand and your model and pick something that's going to feed you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think new construction's got to be part of it, guys. I mean, I always like investors because they're always there. Good times or bad, investors are always there, and even more of them when we do have a recession. Everybody's and their uncle seems like they're an investor. So you always want to keep that going. And new construction, particularly right now. And by the way, let's say we do go in a recession. What is the number one thing that politicians try to rejuvenate or generate to bring us out of a recession? What's the first thing to look
Real
at?
estate.
The housing market.
Real estate,
Real estate.
new construction. Because think about new construction, all the industries that are involved in new construction, right? Flooring, roofing, concrete, lumber, electricians, plumbers, you know, carpenters, flooring people, inspectors, appraisers, lenders, attorneys. It just goes on and on and on. It's in shipping and trucking to move all the material around and deliver an entire house full of material to a building site. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. That's why, I mean, sometimes you have to start somewhere where you might not want to be to get to where you want to be. So like new construction, I know people personally that just got lucky right out of the gate and they just happened to land a gig with a new builder. And that builder kept growing and growing and growing. And one of them is actually in the DC area, but I mean, I know you probably have heard of Carrie Shaw, right? She and I were in a mastermind group together for years, figured in with a new construction guy. And I mean, by the time she was 30 years old, she was making a couple $1,000,000 a year in commissions. And all she did was just bring them in, show them the models, and people just fall all over themselves buying those big, new, beautiful homes. But most of us have to work for it. So working with the buyers first, and then if you can focus on an area and a couple of specific builders, they're going to recognize over time you're bringing them repeat business. They're going to want to do business with you. Don't ever be afraid if they're already working with another realtor. What I would always say is, I'm not suggesting you get rid of your old realtor. That's not what I'm asking for. What I'm suggesting is you're growing. I believe I can help you. Just give me one. Give me one of your properties to list it. Let me show you what I can do. Now you've got a couple people you can go to, different parts of town. That was the angle I worked. Didn't always work, but it worked enough time to make it worth it. So, hey guys, any more questions on this whole subject tonight? remember it's recorded, so it'll be replayed again. I mean, you can look at the stuff that we showed and you can get the actual verbiage of the act, itself. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Hey, Gary,
Yes.
I wouldn't mind making a comment.
Yeah.
I've had Funnel Pilot for a while, and I ran ads and then I stopped them, and then I ran ads and then I stopped them. And as the people come in, they go directly into KV Core, and then they're there and I can watch them. So once I talk to them, then I turn off the campaign and I put them on market reports. But I can see as they're watching everything, it's just a wonderful way to get a bunch of brand new people into the database that you can actually have a conversation with. So I'm going to be running again this week the new construction, my ads being updated with new photos and things. And I might even run another one, I'm not sure. But I'm really happy with the way Braden sets things up and the way KV Core works with it.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. And it's amazing the technology. It just keeps getting better and better and better. It just makes it so much easier to keep track of your people and where they are in their buying process or selling process, all the automation on the follow-up sequences, the ability to interface through IP, AIPs or IPAs, where I can't even. So I'm getting tired, guys. But APIs to other systems, like between KV Core and Facebook and KV Core and your MLS, and it's just really awesome. And then the key is to use it. And I know there's a learning curve there, but remember on the team, we always in our training we focus on a few things first. Just get KV Core up and running. Get your records loaded so you can turn on those monthly market updates. What Dorothy showed you, each of you here tonight could have all your records on KV Core and each record set up for a monthly market update. It doesn't matter if it's your aunt or uncle, niece or nephew, grandparents, parents, children, it doesn't matter. Friends, neighbors, everybody should get that because it's good information. And it creates that front of mind presence because they're not always going to be the ones buying or selling, but it's the people they know that are buying or selling. And if you do these things we're talking about, your relative, your uncle, aunt, cousin, niece, nephew, they're going to remember you at the time when it's needed. When their coworker says they're moving, they're going to say, "You've got to call Kurt. You've got to call Anita. You've got to call Augustine, because they're my relative or they're my neighbor, they're my friend, and I get information from them every single month. They're really good at what they do." That's the impression. That's what happens. And I wish I could hand that and get it in your head. But if you remember some of the people we've had on, remember Corinne last year, just about this time. She was down in the Gold Coast of Florida. Remember her, the blonde haired lady, and she just got on her own television program. You guys remember her?
Yeah.
Yep. Remember one of the things she said, that like something like 97% of her business comes from her database. And all she does is she communicates with them. That's all she does. Now, she will send out cards, handwritten cards every now and then. But for the most part, she's maintaining contact through the monthly market update. Don't ever forget that. Oh, and take action on it. I mean, really commit tonight. Write it on a yellow stick. You put it on your mirror. So when you wake up in the morning, you go in there and you get your record set up and tagged and set up with monthly market update. And I promise you, just that one action alone will generate some business, and it's totally free, 100% free. And by the way, if you're not on the team or you're new to the team, that's where we start. Then we add these other things. I would never have a brand new agent start off on new construction without their database being set up. I mean, I know you'd probably want me to, and I'd be tempting, but I'm telling you, your database is your goal. Your goal is to build it and nurture it and maintain it, keep adding records to it through these, like what Lisa just said. All those people that they're now on a KV Core system. Instead of just letting them sit there, she communicates with them. And so does Dorothy, right? And so Jess does the same thing. So think of this as a funnel, not just for business today, but business tomorrow and next year and 10 years later. That's how you win the game. That's how the real professionals do it. Set themselves up for short-term or long-term success. So in any case, That's my preaching moment for tonight. But any other questions on this stuff, guys? Yep. So who feels like now you want to set up a one-on-one?
Oh, I know I do.
Yeah, thanks, Kay. Hey, we got 2 takers there. And 3 takers. So here's why another reason why I'm asking that. All right. Raise your hand if you've heard of the Fast Cap program. The Fast Cap program. All right. Now, raise your other hand if you're either in it or have done it. Okay, I know that's hard to do. We've got to, but we're going to make this a rule now. Any new person that comes onto the team, automatically we're going to put them in the Fast Cap. I mean, I'm looking at some of the results, and I'll tell you why it works so well. The person that wrote it co-wrote the Bold program at KW. I used to be a Bold leader, right? And I saw the results in. It's good old-fashioned boot camp. Just wake up, put on your work boots, and start working kind of stuff that works. And it works here too. Tremendous results. And every leader I'm speaking to lately, more and more are saying the same thing. Every new person comes in, they require them to take Fast Cap. And guess how much Fast Cap costs?
Mhm.
Zero.
Okay.
Fast Cap is zero. At KW, I'm not knocking. I'm just telling you the fact because I used to be part of it. You're paying between $800 and $900.
Mhm.
Here, you
Awesome.
get it for free. FREE free. They got accountability built in. You get a partner. Guys, I'm telling you, if you're not in it now and you need more business, I would sign up for Fast Cap. And I'm going to ask you about it on your one-on-one because the next thing is, who here has heard of SISU? SISU. Guess what we're going to start using? SISU. It's going to make it so easy to track your business, your production business. So you're going to get an email tomorrow from Sugar. Okay. In fact, I'm going to get you the link that Sugar is going to give you to set yourself up on SISU. Let me go real quick into my email and I'll get that for you. I'm going to put it in the chat box so you'll have it. I'm going to go to my business email. All right, come on, computer. Here we go. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to grab this for you. Sent. Okay. Thinking about it. Maybe I got too many sessions going on here. Everything just got real slow. So hang on just 1 second, guys, and we'll get out of here. I just want to give you the link for SISU so you'll have it. So write this down. Fast Cap. Fast Cap is through EXP University. Again, totally free. And if you just go online at Google on any browser session, EXP Fast Cap program, you will get the link for it. Okay, so let me grab SISU now. Copy and paste. Hang on 1 second. Some extra period. Let me get rid of that at the end. Okay, so I just put that in the chat box for you guys. So the homework assignment is, if you're not an EXP, I don't know if you probably can still use SISU, but they might charge you. Here we get it for free. I would recommend it even if they do charge you. Look at it. I'm going to be using it as the team leader, and I'll be able to see what you're doing and see. So I didn't know that till I met with Chris Simmons earlier. He told me that. So it's going to be an excellent way for you and I to keep in sync with each other, keep accountability going in a nice, easy, easier automated way. So SISU is for production. On agent attraction, if you're in the eXcelerate program, you're automatically going to have Go High Level that has tracking already built in. We're going to use that for agent attraction. If you're not an eXcelerate, okay, a chart is going out tomorrow to everybody that's on the team and anywhere else below me. That's going to have a chart that my mentor gave me, and I modified it for you. And it's real easy. We meet bi-weekly, at least till you're going consistently, and then we can meet monthly. But for right now, it's going to be bi-weekly. And that's everybody here. So you want to go out there and grab yourself a spot because we're starting today. All right. And we're going to be tracking what we've been building these last 2.5 months. Remember, the year's 1/5 over. In 2 more weeks, the year will be 1/4 over. 1/4 of the year in the history books. So we've been building everything through eXcelerate, getting people on FastCap, and now we're gonna hit the gas and go. We're gonna track everything every couple of weeks. So there is something on AI, but I'm not completely set up on it yet. If you're in eXcelerate, you do get it for free. If you're not, it's like $29 a month. But we'll have more information on that in 2 weeks. On the 31st, I'll have Ryan, my assistant, show you how it works. It's AI it creates an avatar of you. It creates content based on what you give it in a survey, and it's all totally automated. You put it on Facebook, LinkedIn, through your email, through text. Just amazing, amazing stuff. I mean, we're literally watching the future unfold right in front of us. That's what Peter Diamandis in 2017 said in his book, The Future Is Now. He mentioned EXP and he said, you watch these guys. They're gonna totally disrupt the industry. And we have. We outbeat everybody last year. It's amazing, you know. So but it's because of this technology, you know. So the thing is, it's just look at movies that you saw 20 years ago. This is what we're seeing. So it's happening now. It's embrace it, use it for good. There's going to be bad guys out there, just like any time in life, any history, part of history in the human race. There's good and bad. You just got to choose which side you're going to be on. I choose the side of good, and we're going to use this technology for good to help a lot of people. So, in any case, we'll show you that in 2 weeks. But for right now, Sisu, SISU, that link's in the chat box. And then if you're on eXcelerate, we'll track agent attraction through Go High Level. If you're not on eXcelerate, we'll track it using the chart you're going to get tomorrow in the email. Okay. Everybody have a full brain tonight?
Mhm.
Okay,
Good stuff, Gary. I'm
Great.
excited about that AI thing. I started getting mine set up, so
Okay.
it's I think it's gonna be pretty powerful.
I agree.
And just
From
to
what
note,
I've seen,
and just to note, you've been talking a lot about Braden and setting up the funnels and stuff. Yeah, definitely just make sure you tell them about your personal market. Like you were saying, if you don't have many one stories or whatever, he doesn't know every market. He's just kind of sharing what's going on, in the average around the country, So if you got something specific, just even if it's not on the forum, just tell them. And if you look at the data and you see the data that's what's selling, then he'll do what makes sense. Just communicate with them. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you just like anything, you build it, then you see what it does, and you tweak it and improve it and modify it and keep doing that. By the way, thank you, Charlie, for putting this in, guys. The next Fast Cap program begins on the 26th, which is going to be next Wednesday. Okay. You can sign up for free. Next Wednesday it starts. It's 6 weeks. It's, at some point you're gonna have to do it. If you're not in it now, might as well go ahead and sign up for the 26th. Okay. Take advantage of it and really, really make this year count. It's we got a great opportunity here. There's more to the story. I'll tell you more about that on our April team meeting about some of the things behind the curtains that are happening. This will make a lot more sense for everyone. So, hey guys, would you mind giving a big pat on the back for Jessica and Dorothy in particular tonight? I mean, everybody that contributed, but those two really, that was, nothing formal, nothing set up. I just asked them to pitch in and they rose to the occasion. So, yeah. And I promise you, I would never intended to surprise Dorothy on this like I did last week. I wanted to talk to her in person. So I promise you this, I will only surprise you once. And for every time they're out there, I'll never surprise you again. That goes for everybody. You just don't know when I'm going to surprise you. So be ready. All right. All right, guys. If there's no more questions, I wish you a good night. God bless you and all your loved ones. We'll see you on one-on-ones, and we'll see you next Monday. and that is Jill Brumbaugh, excuse me, and she is I think State Farm. Shoot, don't quite me on that insurance, but she's going to go into the details, the kind of details that matter to us because they matter to our clients. So definitely be in that class. She's going to have some good stories, a presentation, and it's going to be good stuff. It's something we hardly touch on, but we usually take for granted. So the way the business is, who here has noticed how much interest rates have gone up the last couple of years? Yeah, you should definitely know about the business, know how to choose the proper coverages, all that stuff. What the odds, all that. You're going to learn a lot next week. So I'll see you there. And then the 31st is Ryan Espinoza, one of the team's techies, the virtual assistant from the Philippines, going to show you how to set up a Facebook page, and then we'll show you the AI tool that we're talking about too. So, okay, you guys have a good night. All right.
Thank you. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thanks, PF. I appreciate you, man. Oh,
Bye,
happy St.
everyone.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Oh my
happy
gosh, I
St.
almost forgot.
Patty's.
Yeah, happy St. Patty's Day. Time for a green beer, maybe this weekend. So,
Thank you, Gary.
okay. All right. Good night,
Have a
everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.